Welcome back, third graders, to our second part of our math lesson on division. This time we're doing division problems that are on your worksheet titled quotients, which is an answer. Remember, answer to a division problem is called a quotient. Quotients with remainders. Answers with remainders. And you can see here in the example that the answer is 7 with a remainder 2. Okay? So we're going to do, I'm just explain a little bit. What does it mean to have a remainder? Well, let's say that you had 3 children and you had 7 pieces of candy. 7 pieces of candy. And I start to pass them out, and this person gets one, and this person gets another one, and this person gets one, and now, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Uh-oh, I have one left over. Who's going to get the last piece? Because it's not even. So I have a remainder. Each student got 2 pieces, but I have a remainder of 1 left who I don't know who to give it to. Okay? So that's what remainders are. Something is left over. And that can happen in a division problem when you're dividing things up and it's not even. So let's look at the first problem here. The problem says 23 divided by 3. Write that on here. Remember, we write the number in the house first, which is called the dividend. This is the dividend. 23 divided by 3. Dividend, divisor. So we're trying to find the quotient, the answer. Okay? So, remember I'm going to make my little columns here. Make them straight. Now remember our little sayings. Does McDonald's serve burgers? Divide, multiply, divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. Okay? So we're doing the same thing. It's just a little bit different kind of a problem. Okay? So again, I look at my first column. Is this number equal to 3 or larger? Is 2 the same number as 3 or larger than 3? No, it's not. This is different. We can't use this column. We have to go to the next column. And we say the whole number now, 23 divided by 3. Okay? So if you know your math facts and you know your 3's, okay, you can actually look on your sheet in your 3's, so find the 3's, and then look in here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. 24 is too much. So we can use 21. So 21 divided by 3, the closest we could get without going over. If I use 24, I'm going over. So 21 divided by, we can use a 7. So I'm going to put a 7 here. Okay? So we divided. 23 divided by 3 equals 7. So I divided. Now I have to multiply. Do you remember what we multiply? Think to yourselves. Remember I say put your thinking caps on. Okay, let's see if you were right. 7 times 3. How many of you did that? I know you did. I know you remember. Good job. So 7 times 3, 21. We multiplied. Okay, now we're going to subtract. What do we subtract again? Subtraction sign here, 23 minus 21. Here's our subtraction problem. 23 minus 21, okay? I can do it just in my head, 23 minus 21, or I can again separate it. 3 minus 1 is 2, and 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay? Either way. So I did my subtraction problem. Bring down. Do I have a number here to bring down? Nope. Okay? Now, looking at this number, okay, I can't divide it by 3 because 2 is not equal to 3 or larger. We have the same problem again. So we have 2 left over. If I passed out candy, if I had 23 pieces of candy and 3 children, each one would get 7, and then I'd have 2 left over because I have a remainder. So this is how you write it, 7 with a remainder of 2. Okay? So we didn't have anything to bring down. So that's our answer. That's our quotient. So 23 divided by 3 is 7 with a remainder of 2. This is our quotient. Okay? So let's do the next one. Okay. Let's see, 47, I'm doing on your sheet here. Number 1, 40, the first one we did was this one, the example. Now we're doing 47 divided by 4. And then we're going to do a new step. We're going to check it. Remember we checked it before? We can check these too. 47 divided by 4. Remember, I could write it this way. And I can't really figure it out that way. That's why we write it with the house. So it's 47 divided by 4. The number I say first goes inside the house. 47 divided by 4. Okay? I have my columns again. Sometimes if your parents have graph paper in the house, you can write it on graph paper to keep it lined up. You could print a piece of graph paper out on the internet, and then the graph paper has the columns in there for you. That's what I would have been using with you if we were still in school, to line things up. Okay? Just draw one more column here. You can see if anything's in there. Okay, so remember our pattern. Does McDonald's serve burgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. But before I even do that, I have to go to the very first number. Is this number inside the house equal to or larger than 4? And it's equal to 4. Can I use it? Yes. I can use the number inside the house, the very first number, if it's equal to or larger than 4. So, what is my first division problem? 4 divided by 4. So if I have 4 people and I have 4 pieces of candy and I divide it up, everybody gets 1 piece. And we know there's a rule. Any number divided by itself is always 1. So if I know 4 divided by 4 is 1, I know that 5 divided by 5 is 1. I know that 10 divided by 10 is 1. I know that 100 divided by 100 is 1. So what would be 1,000,000 divided by 1,000,000? You got it, 1. Any number divided by itself is always 1. So 4 divided by 4 equals 1. I put my 1 in this column. I did divide. What's my next step? Multiply. What's my multiplication problem? Right here, 1 times 4. 1 times 4 equals 4. Did that. What's my next one? Subtract. 4 minus 4. Put my little minus in here. 4 minus 4 equals 0. Did that. I have a bring down. Do I have a number in there to bring down? I sure do. I have to bring the 7 down. So here brings the 7 right to here. It goes right next to the 0. Okay? So I had a number to bring down. Okay? Now, how do I know if I use this number or not? Is this a remainder or do I do another math division problem? Well, what's the rule? do a new math division problem if this number, okay, is equal to or larger than 4. And this number, 7, is larger than 4. So I have another problem to do even though I didn't have anything to bring down. So my new division problem is 7 divided by 4. Okay? So if I have 7 pieces of candy and I have 4, okay, the closest that I can come where everyone still is equal, okay, I would still be putting, if I did 2, that would give me 8, and that's too much, so I have to use 1, okay, and you can figure that out with your chart, okay. So, whoops, I just did my first division problem, which was 7 divided by 4. I got 1. Now I have to multiply. 1 times 4 equals 4. Now I have to subtract. Okay, 7 minus 4 equals 3. Okay, do I have anything to bring down? Nope, nothing here. Am I done with this problem? I can tell I'm done because this number is less than 4. If this number was equal to or more than 4, I'd have another division problem. But it's not. 3 is less than 4. So I'm done. So what does that make 3? It means it's a remainder. So I have to put my R3. So my answer to 47 divided by 4, the answer, or the quotient, is 11 with a remainder of 3. Now we're going to check it. This check is a little bit different because we have a remainder. So we still do the first thing. We take 11 times 4. Remember how we checked the other ones? This is our check to see if our answer is correct. So 11 times 4, and I'll bet you remember the 11s, don't you, for multiplication? I know you guys knew these really easy. 11 times 4 equals 44. Okay, I could just know it in my head, or I could have done each column. 1 times 4 equals 4. 1 times 4 equals 4 again. So 44, and then what you do with that remainder, you add it. You don't multiply it, you add it. So these two, I times, and then I add the remainder. So we had 11 times 4. What am I doing again? I'm checking to see if I did this problem correctly. This is just a check. Okay, so 11 times 4, 11 times 4 equals 44 plus 3, because that's my remainder, equals 47. Is that the number inside the house? Yep. So it checks. It's good. Thank you, third graders. So I want you to continue and try and do your quotients with remainders and then do your check next to it. Figure the problem, do your check. Figure the problem, do your check. And remember and write down your steps. Okay? Does McDonald's serve burgers? Okay, so put the divide, the multiply, the subtract, and the bring down, somewhere where you can see it, up here or down on the bottom. Maybe right here would be a good place, so you remember how to do it. Bye-bye, third graders.